What's up, budget builders? My name is Trill and we have some shocking news to share with you today. And this one is crazy. They are calling for, I should say that we have one politician calling for $10,000 stimulus checks. And I will say this might not be a bad idea after all, but I'm going to tell you guys all about it today. We also have been seeing some mask mandates coming out over the past couple of weeks, but now who would have thought that we would now see vaccine mandates? Well, that is a thing now. Multiple places and counties are calling for vaccine mandates in order to be at indoor activities as well as working in large corporations. Also, we have a brief fourth stimulus check update that I want to share with you. And we have our daily news bites as well. Now, those are just some of the topics that we are going to cover today. But if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, Bitcoin and crypto, and stimulus update news. So if you want to be a part of this community, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then be sure to like this video. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, guys, $10,000 stimulus checks. $10,000 per person. Is this even possible? Well, a politician who was also a presidential candidate in the 2020 election proposed this idea on his Twitter page early Thursday morning. And here is that tweet.
I love a lot of what is being considered in the $3.5 trillion social infrastructure bill. But cash relief should be a bigger part of the bill. $3.5 trillion is enough to give everyone in the country $10,000, which would solve a lot of problems.
Now, I have to admit, guys, he does have a point. $10,000 would solve a lot of issues for people right now. But of course, that may only be temporarily. People behind on their rent payments or even their mortgage payments and other bills, people could actually catch up back up again on majority of their bills with receiving the $10,000. But would people actually use that money to get on time with their rent payments? Or would they just move to a new location and keep the money instead? Let me know what you guys think. But we look at how many people we currently have in America right now. The population is about 331 million people. And the current proposed stimulus package bill is about $3.5 trillion. Now, if we take that $3.5 trillion and divide it by 331 million people, we end up with a little bit over $10,000 per individual. Now, if this way was really to happen, obviously each child wouldn't get $10,000, right? Or would they? So we know that this statement is hypothetically speaking, but it sure does sound good, guys. Now, Andrew followed up with another tweet about an hour later, and this is that tweet.
If the Dems want a lot of grateful voters and recognition, they should include a fourth cash relief check. Would make the whole thing more popular and harder to argue against.
And he is right again. The Democrats would definitely win the next election if that was to happen. But notice he is calling for a fourth stimulus check to be included in the budget resolution bill. And I think there are a lot of lawmakers that are calling for a fourth stimulus check to be included. Now, this is exactly what Bernie Sanders has been saying all along. Bernie told President Biden previously that he needed to take advantage while he can in order to get things done for the American people. Otherwise, your opportunity might not last forever. Do it right now while the Democrats are over the House and the Senate and the presidency. But of course, President Biden has been hesitant on doing such a thing, although he is trying to make strategic decisions as we are all dealing in some delicate times right now. But overall, the idea of receiving $10,000 checks for each individual, for everyone in America, yeah. I could only imagine sales for a majority of stores and restaurants would see at least a 100% increase. It's definitely a huge boost to our economy if that was to happen, which is what we need right now. Now, however, with the shortage of workers and employees, businesses might not be able to handle the increased traffic right now. So, that wouldn't be a good thing, right? But anyways, guys, hey, this proposal for $10,000 stimulus checks was a good one, I must say. But I doubt we will ever see anything of that magnification anytime soon or in our lifetime. But we still want to see a $2,000 stimulus check on this fourth stimulus package, right? Or at least reoccurring stimulus checks. Either one of those is fine, President Biden. Do you hear me? Either one of those is fine with the American people. Now, as we move along, Congress is on the verge of passing two infrastructure bills at the same time. The first part of the bill is the bipartisan infrastructure bill worth $1.2 trillion. The Senate has already passed that bill and sent it on over to the House for their vote. And then we have the second part of this bill, which is the human infrastructure, or the Americans Families Plan, is following a budget resolution process. That allows the Democrats to pass this bill with a 50-member vote instead of your typical 60 votes. As the bipartisan bill is already in the House with Nancy Pelosi and the gang, she is still being stubborn and not wanting to pass this bill by itself. She is still waiting for the second part of the bill to be passed in the Senate and sent on over to the House, so that she can have a dual bill vote at the same time. Pelosi insists on waiting to pass both bills at the same time. So right now the ball or the bill is sitting in Pelosi's court waiting for a vote. Now, I never thought that I would say this, but Nancy Pelosi is the roadblock right now as far as passing this first part of the infrastructure bill. How long will she hold out and waiting for the budget resolution bill to be approved and sent to her? I know Chuck Schumer and Pelosi are hoping to pass the bill rather quickly in the Senate, but the time frame can be undetermined. So far on Thursday morning, Pelosi was refusing to budge on the bipartisan bill. Pelosi has been saying this for weeks, and now that the bill is here, she is sticking with her strategy. And to my surprise, the progressives support her strategy as well. They want to use the bipartisan legislation as leverage to ensure that the reconciliation bill clears the Senate, which is why it makes perfect sense, right? Holding the bill up could potentially rush the Senate members to vote rather quickly and not hold up the progress. But on the flip side, there are about 8 to 10 centrist members that have privately stated that they are willing to vote against the budget resolution if Pelosi does not bring the bipartisan bill to the floor for a vote. Now, I sure hope this all doesn't backfire on the Democrats' face. I really want these two bills to pass myself, as long as they do contain a fourth stimulus check. So that's where we currently are, guys, when it comes to passing the second part of the infrastructure bill. Let's see how far the Senate can get this week or this weekend. I will keep you guys up to date as usual. Now it's time to go through our daily news bites. We have been seeing mask mandates pop up everywhere lately. We have been seeing executive orders preventing mask mandates from happening in certain cities. But who would have thought we would see vaccine mandates hitting the floor? Multiple states and cities and large corporations are now requiring their employees to be vaccinated before returning back to work, as well as vaccinated before participating in any indoor activities. Google and Facebook have already mandated vaccines for employees to return back to the office, which means if you don't get the vaccine, you can't return back to the office, which means your salary could be reduced. Disney has already recently been added to that list. A few others like United Airlines, Uber, Tyson Foods, the Washington Post, Delta Airlines, St. Jude's Hospital, as well as Houston Methodist Hospital and other hospitals have all been added to having vaccine mandates. And we can expect the list to grow every day, especially as these virus cases continue to rise astronomically. And speaking of virus cases, Florida hit another record on Wednesday with reporting more than 24,000 new cases. Also in Palm Beach County, Florida, one kid was tested positive on the second day of school. Also within the county, 51 students and staff members also tested positive as well, causing more than 400 students to be forced to quarantine themselves. I am really afraid for my son to return back to school next Wednesday. I actually told my wife a couple of days ago to enroll him in homeschool learning. Yeah, I'm just afraid, guys. Don't hate me for it. But she reminded me that if we do sign him up for homeschool, that I would have to teach him every day. And I was like, I don't know about that one. Okay, let's rethink this, right? I'm just saying, guys. But in all seriously, guys, I really don't want him to go back to school this soon. But we only have a few more days before it actually goes down. Personally, I don't think that schools will make it that far this year. I think schools will actually end up shutting down again because of this virus. But I will be praying that if students and children do test positive, that their symptoms are very mild. I feel like our children from pre-K to 6th grade are helpless right now when it comes to the virus because parents allow them to go back to school unprotected without a vaccine shot, while us parents that have had the vaccine shot continue to work from home to avoid the office and being infected. I just think that that is so backwards. If we feel our kids are safe to return back to school with no vaccine, then why aren't us parents returning back to work after we've received the vaccine? It just makes no sense, guys. But that's my opinion, so, but it has turned into a political circus out there, and I truly hate it. But again, this is our reality. I just wish it was just much different. But enough about me, guys. What do you guys think about this? I know that we all have our differences, right? But as long as we be respectful when discussing it with others, that should make things a little bit better. But when I read my Nextdoor app on my phone, everyone is fighting like cats and dogs regarding this virus and whether to wear a mask or not and whether to be vaccinated or not. It's just crazy. But anyways, guys, hey, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. And maybe I will place a poll out there to see what you guys would do if you did receive a $10,000 stimulus check. Anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today, but this has been another 4th stimulus check update for today. Now, if you enjoyed any of this information, any of it, or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.